cool.
You've heard me running around here trying to kind of remind these guys to hang on tight here. When we bring volunteers out here to the museum to work, we like to have them sit down at a table inside and read a list that we have of reports from the U.S. Army of how guys got injured or killed, terribly maimed on armored vehicles. It's just one of those things we do to kind of stress the importance of the safety. Things can go bad very fast with these vehicles, and you have to be very careful. High command says no. It's a fake attack. The real attack's going to come at Pas-de-Calais.
Oh, sorry.
Locally, the Germans are reacting. Here's one of those airborne jeeps about.
You push this in, slap that in, and push that button, and then you're ready to fire again.
Can I hold it again?
Sure. Now that it's loaded. You really like this gun.
Yes, I do.
Is it actually loaded?
No,
kind of dangerous to put into a kid's hands.
European markings. I'd have to double check the numbers. There's been an awful lot of T-72s sold around the world, but I think this is still the most prolific. In addition to countries in the Eastern Bloc of the world, like East Germany and Czechoslovakia, countries like Vietnam, North Vietnam had T-55, Cuba had T-55, Nicaragua got T-55.
Oh my god, it's it's a BMP-2 right in front of me. Dude.
This is the BMP-1P. These were introduced in the East German Army in the 1970s. This was first paraded in Moscow by Soviet forces in 1967. It's a armored personnel carrier, fully amphibious, has a rocket-propelled grenade and a machine gun on the front turret. Machine gun's its main gun. It can carry up to 11 men. In the Soviet Army, the East German Army would usually carry 9. This is the one of 2 different variants of armored personnel carriers used by the East German Army in the 1970s and 80s.
What are those holes in the sights?
Those are gun ports. The first 3 towards the back are for the AKM. The weapon can be mounted in the side and allow the soldiers in the back to fire up the side. The front one is used by the RPK machine gun.
Oh, he knows a lot.
What is the main gun on this thing?
It fires. It's a smoothbore cannon that fires PG-9 rockets. A little bit bigger than the RPG-7. Very accurate. It's got a little stub of a shell behind it. That was the charge to get it out and activate the rocket motor. The fins would pop open. This fin stabilized, just like the RPG-7.
So not a big recoil.
Not really, no. A little bit, but not much. Not much.
Can we get in?
Unfortunately, no. They're worried about people. There's a lot of stuff here that'll cut your head open. And we wear helmets when we roll around inside this.
This is an East German MPI AKM side folder, the wire stock. It's got all the East German furniture on it. Bakelite forward handguard, plastic top handguard. And this is plastic here. It's really lightweight stuff. Looks kind of cheap, but it's what they made it in.
So they make a lot of those. Well, it's the most made gun in the world.
A lot of them were destroyed.
It's the most made gun in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of these were destroyed.
Some kind of biological component. The BMP had an overpressure system, keeping the air inside at a higher pressure than that outside, so air was moving out, not in. 8 guys, 8 very friendly guys, 8 guys not altitudinally challenged. The shorter the better. Get in the back of that vehicle. And technically they can all put their guns in the firing board and fire. It is close and tight in there. They even have actually two hatches. The driver's in the front, and right behind the driver is the squad leader. So that guy technically is with the troops in the back. He would jump out or command from the vehicle, the 8 guys in the back. The BMP also has the turret on the top of the 73mm low recoil gun. It is a basically heavy tank weapon, but losing a lot of the troops because of the new armor that's on a lot of vehicles. Demonstration by the East German reenactors. This vehicle is marked up as an East German vehicle. See the turret traversing there. It has smoke dischargers on the back along with the 73mm main gun. And many of the BMPs have either a rail or a tube so that they can fire an anti-tank guided missile. This vehicle is amphibious. It propels itself in the water with a track. It has a small splash screen that goes up in the front. That's literally all you have to do is go in the water. It just keeps the waves from washing over the front of the vehicle. It's fairly capable in the water. The water goes doors on the back that the troops get out of. Get out here. Think it can. You got to remember, some of these vehicles are up to 60, 70 years old. Not this one. This one's only about 45 years old. And this is the Russian PG-76. We've got it marked up in the colors of Russian internal troops. These vehicles were designed back in the late 1950s. Definitely part of Cold War history. Chinese have a similar vehicle called the Type 63. This light tank was the only tank that got into tank-to-tank combat with American forces in Vietnam. There were a lot of tank battles between the North Vietnamese and the South Vietnamese, especially after the U.S. But during our experience in the Vietnam War, the U.S. only had one tank-to-tank battle. The North Vietnamese planned on attacking a base that was occupied by South Vietnamese troops and U.S. Special Forces, basically taking the range. They were going to attack the base with the 76s and also something called the BCR-50. It has the same chassis as the Army personnel carrier. This base was fairly lightly armed in terms of heavy weapons. They had their machine guns, they had their the personal weapons. The Special Forces didn't carry a lot of heavy weapons. What the attacking force didn't know was that we had gotten wind of this attack and we had actually moved in some 148 tanks. When they attacked the base at night, the F-48s turned on their two-arm ship pipes, highlighted the tanks against the woods, and had pursuit. These guys did get off the one construction and then ultimately knocked out one of the M48s completely, and they damaged a couple of others. But ultimately, they were all defeated. This tank does not have very thick armor because it's amphibious. Like a lot of the other reconnaissance assets we've seen today, their armor is speed. They do have a fairly decent gun for the size of the vehicle. It's a 76mm main gun. It's certainly nothing like what the modern main battle tanks have today. The Russians continue to use it. We have repainted it in the markings of the Russian internal troops, and these vehicles are active today in places like Chechnya and Azerbaijan.
So what tank is this?
This is anti-aircraft defense. This is an M42.
Oh, does that have more than one barrel? Let me check. Yeah.
Yep. Dual 40mm Orkalons. Anti-aircraft. And this is its older brother from World War II, the M19.
I guess that was better.
Huh?
That one was better, I guess. More useful?
Well, that's actually they're both. This one is the updated, has the electric over hydraulic drive, whereas this is all manual crank.
Oh, okay.
So World War II, and then tail end of Korea into the 60s.
A T-72 or is it a T-55? I am not sure. Let's look at a picture of it from the front. Oh my goodness.
That is the T-72, I think.
Is it a T-72?
Yeah.
I don't know. Look around the back. That machine gun up there. And the fuel kegs, or whatever these are.
Probably one of the most unique modern tank designs. They're meant for defensive battle, so they would just sit, poke that nose out between some trees. They got that fence on the front. That's to pre-detonate rounds coming in, and it's very low. It's got an autocannon. The side here, those are auxiliary fuel tanks that take a hit, they just drop away. And then after they fire right here in the middle, this would flip down and the empty spent shell will go shooting out. Out the back.
Cool.
So very, very, very cool tanks. 2 years ago,
Here's a construction tank. It's probably a tow. Like if a tank gets stuck in the mud, this can tow it out of battle with ease.
Sorry about that.
Have you guys been sleeping out in the field?
The other guys chickened out. They did not sleep outside. I, however, did both nights, and the first night it was awful because they did have the tent up, but it's not like a tent, you know, that's like a full enclosed tent. It's more like, you know, like a beach tent. You know, it's got, you know, like the canvas on the top, and then just pulls it right down, and it's open on all sides. It filled up with water.
Tank.
This is the T-3485 tank. This tank, you know, and it was produced in very large numbers. Originally, it was the T-3476, which had a 76 millimeter gun, which probably was about, you know, this long. This is the 85. This is the updated version, and it's got an 85 millimeter gun. These tanks were produced in very large numbers. I would say I think about 80,000 were made during the war. It's a huge number. And then you had even more that were made after the war for the Eastern Bloc countries, which this, I believe, is an Eastern Bloc model because the instrument panels are all in it.
It's very messy in there.
German, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty messy. I've been inside one that was refurbished inside as well, and it was extremely nice. I got to start the engine on the one that was refurbished on the inside.
This one drives, right?
They
all drive.
Are they all?